Hello, my name is Allyssa Cornier, and I'll be talking about Sharon Osbourne, best known as wife and manager of Ozzy Osbourne. She was born Sharon Rachel Levy on October 9th, 1952 in Brixton, London, England. She's the daughter of Hope Shaw, a former dancer and choreographer, and artist manager and businessman Don Arden. Other than artist management, Sharon was a concert producer, creating Ozfest, a touring concert festival featuring new and established heavy metal bands. She's also a well-known British-American TV personality, author, mother, philanthropist, and producer. Sharon is credited with creating and producing the first reality celebrity TV show, The Osbournes, in 2002, which featured her family consisting of her, Ozzy Osbourne, and their kids Kelly and Jack over the course of 4 seasons. Their eldest daughter, Amy, didn't participate though because she didn't like the 30-person crew filming the family 24 hours a day. Sharon even admitted that their home was more of a studio than a home at the time of filming. The show was on MTV, earning them the highest ratings for any of their programs since its conception at the time. Other than her own reality TV show, Sharon also started The Sharon Osbourne Show and has also been a part of America's Got Talent and The Celebrity Apprentice on NBC, The Talk on CBS, The X Factor, and was a guest star on Will and Grace, Punk'd, Days of Our Lives, and more. Sharon got her start as an artist manager by working as a receptionist, then later in promotions for her father, Don Arden, who was managing Black Sabbath at the time. Ozzy Osbourne was kicked out of the band in 1979 for substance abuse. Sharon was 24 years old when she decided to take him on as her first client and became his manager. This caused problems between her and her father that were bad enough to sever their relationship for 2 decades. Ozzy Osbourne isn't the only artist Sharon has managed, though. She also managed Smashing Pumpkins, Motorhead, Lita Ford, and Electric Light Orchestra in her extensive career of 30 years in the music industry. Sharon's professional relationship with Smashing Pumpkins started when lead singer and guitarist Billy Corgan decided to go with her to manage the band over other music industry players like John Silva, manager of Beastie Boys and Beck, and Michael Ovitz's artist management group. Lemmy of Motorhead was blown away by Sharon's managerial presence when they were on a US tour with Black Sabbath back in 1994. He's had a lot of respect for her since then, and she eventually ended up managing Motorhead. Lita Ford of the Runaways hired Sharon to manage her solo career in 1985. She described Sharon as a godsend for her solo career, and she was simply another female in the rock world that she could relate to. Sharon's relationship with Electric Light Orchestra was established when her father Don was managing them. He ended up passing them down to her because he was preoccupied with other work for the other bands that he managed at the time. Sharon Osbourne is known for her fierce and unapologetic personality, which carries into her management style in an industry run by men. She told Celebrity Access in an interview that the industry in the 70s and 80s was a real boys' club. Women were around for sex and that was it. Executives in the industry didn't want women around unless they were sexually available or interested in them. In another interview for Louder Sound, she said, "For me, you had to know what you were doing. You had to be on top of your game because they all wanted you to fail, but I wouldn't go away." Growing up as Don Arden's daughter, she had been physically and verbally abused and was taught how the music industry worked. She said that she's grateful for it though because she learned what not to do from him and his practices, but loved him for opening her eyes to experiences and people that changed her life. Sharon paved her own way in the industry after the violent falling out with her father once she took on Ozzy as her first client. She's outspoken, fearless, won't let people tell her what to do, will do what she wants, and takes risks. For example, when Lollapalooza turned down her request to have Ozzy play for the festival in 1996, she created and launched Ozfest, which had its first run the following year. Sharon is devoted to give her artists the most successful career possible. She said in the Louder Sound interview that you have to understand the artist that you want to manage, their genre, how to market that genre, and how to negotiate deals that are best for your artist. If you don't understand social media, then you shouldn't manage anyone. Sharon was also never afraid to fight what was right as a manager. Some good decisions that Sharon made were taking on Ozzy Osbourne as her first client, launching his successful solo career that is still ongoing. She came up with the first celebrity reality TV show based on her family's life, which started her career in television, and created and launched Ozfest instead of hoping other music festival promoters would put her bands on. She even made the festival admission free of cost in 2007 for 25 dates because she said that tickets have steadily climbed as artists demand more and more money for summer tours. However, she wanted kids to be able to afford to come out and have a great experience. Sponsors took care of the costs of the festival, and the artists were able to sell their merch for revenue. I personally think that this was a great idea to make a festival as big as Ozfest free for the sake of fans, to give them the opportunity to experience it in case they never had the chance to go otherwise. One bad decision that she made, though, was firing members of Ozzy's band for unexplained reasons, which brought up controversy surrounding her management style. Another that has come up in the past couple of months was her defense of Piers Morgan and his statements about Meghan Markle. Sharon got backlash on social media and on the talk with her co-host for defending Piers after making racist remarks that resulted in her leaving the show and later apologizing with a statement to her followers on Twitter to essentially say that she's not racist and shouldn't be considered one for having a friend who might be. Another instance was during Iron Maiden's set at Ozfest in 2005. After the power was cut out and restored 3 separate times and the band got egged during their set, frontman Bruce Dickinson accused the festival's organizers of doing it all on purpose and insulted Ozzy Osbourne. Sharon wasn't having any of it, which explains why she unplugged everything, so as soon as the band got off the stage, she got on the mic and she talked badly about him as well. Even though she was defending her husband and festival from someone who was disrespecting both, it was unprofessional and not good for her image. My lesson learned after doing research on Sharon Osbourne has shown me how much that she's done in the music industry and how much of a fighter she is. Despite the turbulent marriage that she's had with Ozzy over the course of 34 years, in the 42 years that she's managed him, it just shows that she'll fight for what she believes in. Regardless of some of her problematic actions, I admire how much work she put in to get to where she's gotten, especially in terms of the music industry. She's helped her artists in ways that I never would have thought of, and I respect her for never giving up when people in music wanted to see her fail or gave her a hard time simply because she's a woman. Something Sharon has done that I can apply to the career of the band that my group and I are working with during this class is creating an event that can feature them and other similar bands and artists that we feel should have eyes and ears on. It could be difficult to get what your artist deserves, so I won't be afraid to take risks and push the limits to at least attempt in bettering their careers. Another thing is that she never gave up on her artists. She always believed in them, and that's something that I think could definitely help me in my future with artists as well. And that's the end. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my keynote about Sharon Osbourne.